Good evening to those who are watching. I had to come on and share this because it hit me hard today. As many of you know, Texas was hit with the weather, bad weather all this week, and there are several places that are still dealing with the snow, the ice, no power, no water, no food, and so um, and it's all around Texas that they're dealing with this. But in the area that I stay in, it has been cold all week. But today the sun was shining and it was about 47 degrees, which is different than the 3 degrees or 18 degrees that we had earlier this week. And so I decided to just go out and venture out. Didn't know how the roads would be. Didn't know if where I wanted to go or where I needed to go had power. But I took a chance. And so as I was driving on the highway, um, there was no trace of any snow, any ice on the side of town that I stay on, nor where I had to go. And so as I was driving, it hit me that there was no trace of the storm. There's no trace of the storm, and things will be better than what they were. And so what I took from that is, regardless of whatever storm you're in, whatever what we're dealing with, whether it's internally, physically, whatever storm that we're in, God's gonna bring us out of that with no trace of what we've dealt with no trace. We won't even look like what we've dealt with. We won't look like what we've been through. And that hit me hard because I know I've been dealing with my own personal storms, but it was just him saying and reaffirming to me that I can bring you out of that. I brought you out of other situations. I'm going to bring you out of what you're in now. And you won't have a trace of that storm on you, but you will have a testimony to tell. You will have something to share of how I brought you out to where you're supposed to be. I wanted to share that because that hit me hard today, and I couldn't get past that, and I still can't because I know what we've dealt with earlier this week, but I promise you there's no trace of anything outside. And that I had to relate that to me and say, you know what you're dealing with, okay, just continue to trust, continue to believe, and know that there will be no trace of the storm, but it will be a testimony. Have a good one.